Good morning, good afternoon, good day. Whatever time it is that you're watching this, I hope you have or had a great day. Those pictures that you're looking at, that is my mother holding my son. That would be this picture here and that picture there. And this picture is me as a little girl with my little brother in our pool. And that is my little brother. Many years ago, I was very much into poetry. I have books upon books of poems I wrote just for my own personal therapy, we'll call it. And then my mom got sick with cancer. I was fairly young. I was in my late teens, early 20s. She got sick with cancer, battled it for a couple years. You know how the story goes. She passed away January 4th of 1994. In December of 93, funny enough, I sent a poem into our local newspaper because they had a section that was dedicated to poetry. They printed one poem every day. So I sent the poem in for nothing other than just to pay tribute to my mother, who was on her deathbed. It was published December 18th of 93. And if anybody doesn't believe me, they can look it up. It's in the archives. Daily News, Philadelphia. December of 93, the poem was published. January the 2nd of 94, it was republished because it had won Poem of the Month for December. That was January 2nd. January 4th, she died. Luckily, January 3rd, I was able to bring the newspaper to her house with me. She didn't know what I was saying, but I was able to show her that something I wrote for her had won recognition, we'll call it. So, I have the poem, and I'm going to read it because a lot of people on YouTube are going through some kind of bullshit with somebody going through cancer. And I think it'll help some people. The name of the poem is Mom, I Promised You. And here's the poem. I scraped my knee, you kissed it away. I shed a tear, you knew the right things to say. I promised I would do the same for you. Your knee isn't scraped, kisses can't make it disappear. Mom, I want to make your boo-boo better. Cancer is the last thing I thought I'd hear. Scrapes, operations, molehills, mountains. You shed the tears, I haven't a thing to say. Helpless, wordless, what can I do? So out of control, I want to help you. You tell me I can't, the remedies are few. Do you feel betrayed, Mom? I promise you. And there was more to it than that, but I had to make it a little shorter to fit their parameters for the amount of lines they could print in this section. So there was a little more to it, not much, but it's such a helpless feeling when somebody you love, or even somebody you care about, or somebody you know, or even if you see somebody out that you don't even, that's a total stranger, and you see them, with the bald head and the pale face and the sick look, to be honest. I've been there. I've been through it. You look sick. Call it what it is. You're sick. You look sick. You could tell. And the reason this all came up now, my mom's been dead since 94, like I said, January 4th of 94. My little brother, this little cute curmudgeon right here, He died when I was 10 and a half. He died February 12th of 1981. And he was very sickly. He was in Children's Hospital of Philadelphia for probably 3.5 of his 4.5 years of life. So his anniversary of his death is coming up. And I was thinking a lot about him, of course, like I always do. But I had recently lost a neighbor down the street to cancer. And right before she passed, her and I got very close. She's actually a relative of whatever. But her and I got pretty close. She needed a lot of help. She needed help getting the doctor's appointments, getting things from just whatever. People that are sick that can't leave their house, you know what they need. They need help. So luckily, you know, I don't do anything most of the time, so I was able to help her with a couple different things. Just random stuff. And she passed away on January 19th. And her nephew, who my husband is friends with, had told me after she passed away that when the hospice nurses were there helping her and tending to her, every time they hurt her, or she felt like they hurt her when they were moving her around and cleaning her and stuff, she would cry and scream, I want Jen. She wouldn't hurt me. And that kind of resonated in me. Because this woman didn't know me from Adam, really. I mean, she moved down the street from me a year and a half ago. I saw her. I heard her annoying dog yapping all the time. But that was all I know of her. And she was a big woman. Like, she was like, boof, like Amazon, boo, big woman. Like, 6 foot fucking 12, 13 or 14, and God knows, I mean, she was like a big woman, big boned, as we call them. And I'm not saying big like, brrr, I'm saying like, grr, big. And when she died, she was, I think, maybe 70 pounds, soaking wet with rocks in her pockets. The point of it is, when you watch somebody die, it changes you as a person. It really does. Some people, it makes them more bitter and more angry. And I understand that because I've been there. And some people, it makes more compassionate and more empathetic and more sympathetic. And in the face of uncertainty and illness and death, you kind of feel selfish having a newfound appreciation for life. But you do. I hope. If you're going through a situation with somebody who is sick, whether it be physical or mental, it doesn't matter. If you're going through a situation with somebody who is sick, it's okay to be thankful for what you have. It's okay to look at somebody else's situation and life and not want that for yourself. It's okay. But if they're suffering and struggling, just be there for them. There's nothing you can do to make the pain go away. There's nothing you can do to take the cancer away. But you can at least make their time more pleasant, because it's probably limited. And my husband and I watched a documentary last night. I think it's called The Evil We All Know or something. It's on Netflix. It's about the DuPont company and 3M. And I think if you watch that, you might stop asking the question that a lot of us ask. What's going on? Why does everybody seem to have cancer? Dogs, cats, everybody. Dogs, yeah, it's attributed to the food probably. But humans don't eat dog kibble. Rats in labs don't eat dog kibble. Rats were exposed to the same things we're exposed to. They were born with birth defects and they got cancer. Testicular, prostate, colon. They were born with deformities. Humans have been born with deformities. So, back to the topic at hand. I'm going to end this video the same way I started it. This is my mother holding my little boy. This is my mother holding my little boy. That is me with my little brother in our pool when I was a little girl. And this is my little brother. I'm going to reread this poem, and that's how I'm going to end the video. So take care, love yourself. I scraped my knee, you kissed it away. I shed a tear, you knew the right things to say. I promised I would do the same for you. Your knee isn't scraped. Kisses can't make it disappear. Mom, I want to make your boo-boo better. Cancer is the last thing I thought I'd hear. Scrapes, operations, molehills, mountains. You shed the tears, I haven't a thing to say. Helpless, wordless, what can I do? So out of control, I want to help you. You tell me I can't, the remedies are few. Do you feel betrayed? Mom, I promised you.